Hey, babes, it's India. Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Heartburn, a Heart on Fire podcast. This is where we talk about relationships, friendships, situationships, and all the chaotic little in-betweens. Today, we're going to be talking about lies. Not the obvious ones, the big dramatic movie scene lies. No, we're going to be talking about the subtle ones, those little half-truths, those things that just don't quite add the fuck up. Those little lies that leave you feeling confused instead of angry and somehow leave you questioning yourself more than the person that lied. So let's get into it. If you have ever walked away from someone feeling like, why am I crazy right now? Or their words not matching their actions. But every time you tried to, get clarity, you somehow ended up way more confused in the end. This episode is for you. So let's talk about the absolute confusion with this. It's confusing dealing with someone who says one thing and does completely another. They say they don't want a relationship, but they're treating you like they want one or like they're in one with you. And then you start to validate the actions. You're like, maybe they just need more time. At least they were honest with me with that thing. Maybe they're just figuring things out. Maybe I just need to be more understanding with them. They're going through a lot. No, girl, no. Confusion is not something to solve. No, confusion is not something to solve. Confusion is something to notice, okay? We're not solving that confusion. We're noticing. We're taking note of that confusion. Personal story of mine. So, someone in my life that I have known since I was a teenager. We always had a very deep connection. A lot of love, a lot of respect, no real true bad blood, a lot of understanding for one another and our personalities and all the different times in our life, things that we were going through, and we've seen each other grow so much. We tried to date a few times, definitely put a little time in trying to do it a few times, but in the end we could never meet in the middle. We could never make it work. But really, for me, started to wear on me over time. It was the fucking lies. The little fucking lies. They all seemed really small in the moment, but then slowly over time, it just would erode my trust. And it would just make me fucking spiral. And for days, days on end, following just one tiny little conversation. I remember so many times, and this was throughout our friendship as well as trying to date or be more romantic and put more serious time and effort into it. I would ask him a direct question, very simple, very clear question. And instead of a direct, very simple, straight answer, it would turn into this circle. Somehow we're going around and around this simple question. And we never yelled at each other or screamed at each other. That was not our dynamic at all. But we're going round and round when it really is just such a straight, simple, direct question. And eventually, I did always get the truth. Eventually. But why did it take all of that? I just don't understand it. Another more recent story I have is I was seeing this guy for 4 months. And he had just separated from his wife within the last year of us starting to talk. And I had asked, are you divorced? Are you separated? And it was I'm separated, but we are going to be getting a divorce. We're waiting for tax season. Anyway, there's that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, fast forward 3 months later, towards the end of this, I was like, we're in tax season. And I'm like, oh, so like, what's your guys' plan? What's the plan there? Like, are you guys like, do you have a lawyer? Are you guys going to be finalizing your divorce? Are you going to be starting that process? Yada, yada. He literally said, oh yeah, we got divorced back in like December or whatever. And I'm like, well, December was when we initially started talking, and I had asked you about that. It was like you were separated and you were getting a divorce coming tax season. So now I'm like, I'm confused. Like, what is the point of this lie? What is the point of this lie? What are you getting out of this lie? I'm so confused. Also, people, divorce records are public information. He is not divorced. Anyway, it's not always what they're lying about. It's just the fact that they're making you put in actual legitimate work just to get the truth. When someone makes you work for honesty, they're not protecting you. They're protecting themselves. And let's clear something up, okay? People don't lie to you because you're hard to love. Not at all. They lie to you because they are not capable. They don't have the capacity to handle a difficult situation. They're avoiding accountability. And also, them telling the truth would cost them access to you. It would cost their control of you, of the situation. And people that lie so blatantly like that, they don't like that. That's uncomfortable for them. They want to keep things easy. They want it to be easy. They don't want to put in hard work. It is so much easier to just lie, because that would mean that they would have to actually face themselves. They would actually have to face the things that they need to work on and look in the mirror. If they were honest, they would have to actually look at themselves on a deeper level, and they don't have the capacity for that. And that is the thing that you should be afraid of. Look at yourself and say, am I able to take accountability? Am I truly able to look in the mirror? Or do I want to take an easy way out and lie about this because I don't have the capacity to deal with this situation or have an uncomfortable situation with conversation with someone? And then also, sometimes they lie because they are avoiding your reaction. They're avoiding your reaction. But here's the thing. Your reaction would not exist if they were just honest and transparent to begin with. But this is where it gets tricky. I want to talk about honesty versus respect, because sometimes, technically, they do tell the truth. Okay, fine. Technically, sometimes they do tell the truth. But after the fucking runaround, after beating around the damn bush, after the deflection, and after you've had to ask, 8 different ways, one question 8 different ways. Like you're in fucking court and you're hearing objection. Like, I can't. It's crazy. And honestly, that runaround, that beating around the bush, you having to ask 80 million different ways, that's not honesty. That's delayed honesty. And the thing with delayed honesty, it still creates distrust. Honesty without the consideration is still disrespect. I'm going to say that again. Honesty without consideration is still disrespect. And people that lie and do these things, they're not aware of the emotional impact that it has on another human being. And what this does to you over time, it slowly makes you shrink the fuck down, minimize yourself, not dramatically, but slowly chips away at you in a quiet way. And then slowly you start to stop asking questions, stop being that direct person that has conflict resolution, because you don't want to deal with the runaround and the having to figure out how to ask this question the perfect right way. You start lowering your expectations. You start making those excuses, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But it is, bitch. It is a big deal. It is a big deal, because now you're in a situation where you don't feel secure in what is actually real. You don't feel secure in what's actually real. But then that's where we have that power shift. Everything changes. You don't need to understand someone who's comfortable confusing you. You don't need to understand them. Not at all. You don't need to sit there and decode someone who avoids clarity and uncomfortable conversations. You definitely don't need to stay somewhere where asking a simple and direct question makes you feel like you're doing too much. Absolutely not. A warning doesn't excuse the behavior. It just tells you what you're tolerating. And looking back on my situation with my longstanding friend that I tried to date, it wasn't that I didn't trust him as a person, okay? It's that I couldn't trust the process of getting truth from him. And that matters. Because trust isn't just about believing someone, it's about feeling safe in communication with them. So listen to me when I say this. It was never about you not being enough. It was never about that. It was never about you not being enough. It was about them not being willing or able to meet you with clarity. And once you see that, once you stop chasing answers and you start choosing peace, truly choosing peace, pour yourself a drink, take your fucking power back, and remember, clarity is kindness. Stay bold, stay honest, and stay you. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for listening.